So the Democrats have totally lost the plot again. This is from NBC News, and they're going to try to explain why moderates and centrists are kind of iffy about the impeachment. Now, this is quite biased to one side, so I will be playing devil's advocate. From NBC News, why moderates are holding back on impeachment. Analysis. Some Democrats say they don't want to commit to articles they haven't seen. All right. Like many of the 31 Democrats from districts President Donald Trump won in 2016, freshman Representative Elisa Slotkin, Democrat, Michigan, is feeling the squeeze of impeachment. I bet you are, because I bet you're trying to wrap your head around what exactly we're even charging him with when the average American person... You see, this is where they have this feeling like they are up on the ivory tower. The Democrats are up on this ivory tower calling down to us plebeians. Even the voice of some of the expert witnesses that they had testifying, the academics. I am from Harvard, and I say that because of this. Come on, dude. You couldn't have put a more worse spin on yourselves. Because the average American's looking up that like, you snotty, the average American has heard the transcripts of Trump saying, I don't want any quid pro quo. The average American has heard President Zelensky say, I don't know what you're impeaching him for. There was no quid pro quo. There was no bribery. The average American is looking at it as, we are going to give money, and Burisma was so corrupt and this and that, and all President Trump was trying to do was what we had, as an American people as a whole, through the Electoral College. I didn't vote for him, but American people as a whole voted him to do, which was drain the swamp, right? While there was corruption there, he asked them to look into it. The average American's looking at that like, yeah, and it's kind of what we would want him to do. We would want him to look into corruption before we give money to someone. I mean, especially a lot of money, wouldn't we? Anyways, continuing. A former CIA, Pentagon, and National Security Council staffer before winning election to the House last year, Slotkin helped launch the House inquiry into Trump's Ukraine scandal by co-writing an opinion column calling for a probe after an intelligence community whistleblower accused the president of abusing his office. Yeah, what whistleblower? Who is it? Who is the whistleblower? Here is my hypothesis. I believe the whistleblower is going to be an illegal wiretap. That's what I believe the whistleblower is, an illegal wiretap. Mark my words right here, right now. I believe the whistleblower is an illegal wiretap. Now, that's the only explanation of they met the whistleblower, they didn't meet the whistleblower, they knew who the whistleblower is, they don't know who the whistleblower is, but yet then they release these phone record transcripts of wiretaps that they had. I don't know, man. I think it was an illegal wiretap. Something in me says that that's what it was. Anyways. But now as the House Judiciary Committee drafts articles of impeachment and Democrats from politically competitive districts wait to see how they are written, Slotkin is being lobbied by Republican colleagues who argue that Trump's actions, even if imperfect, don't amount to impeachable offenses and that she should accept, given her background, that the president needs room to use leverage in foreign policy, which he does. And I didn't see any evidence of bribery. I didn't see any evidence of quid pro quo. I saw evidence of Trump being a boorish man, being the strong man persona that he has, putting that forth and saying, take care of this corruption, but I don't want any quid pro quo. I just want you to look into this corruption. That's what the average American is looking at. That's why the average American is looking at these impeachments and the middle is going to the right, because the middle is looking like, what? What are you guys doing? And you're still going with it. And they're stuck. The Democrats have to impeach. They don't have a choice. They're stuck. If they don't impeach now, they just look like idiots. They don't have a choice but to impeach. Do they have the votes to impeach? Well, I would have absolutely a week ago said yes, 100% they have the votes to impeach. But now everybody's wondering what's going to be in the articles. What charges are they going to even charge? If there are charges on there that are going to be a hard sell to the voters, then that Democrat might not vote for impeachment. Anyways, let's continue this. I feel very strongly that in my prior life, we often went to other countries and foreign governments when I was at the Pentagon and said, we want you to do X in exchange for Y. That exchange was exclusively for national security interests of the country. Stop. Isn't us giving all this money to a foreign country that has corruption within it, isn't that corruption kind of a matter of national interests and national security? Isn't it? Wouldn't that count? Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to think that I'm wrong. But in my head, in my layman's, normal, average person's head, that to me sounds like something that we might want to look into before giving a country money is corruption. That would be like saying you're going to give the mob money and someone says, well, they're corrupt. It's the mob. I don't care. I'm just going to give them money. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Continuing. Let's see. National security interests of the country, not for Aliska Slotkin's personal or political gain, said Slotkin, who hasn't committed one way or the other on impeachment. And that's a pretty fundamental difference, and that's the conversation I had with one of my peers. But what gain? What gain? Joe Biden didn't stand a chance. Investigating him wouldn't have made a difference in the election, I don't believe. I really seriously don't. They said he was a political rival of Trump's. No, I don't believe he stood a chance. I don't believe he stood a chance. Anyways, while the GOP push hasn't been persuasive, moderate Democrats are worried that liberals in their own party are going to put forward articles of impeachment that are hard to vote for and even harder to explain voting for. Yes. At this point, any of the charges that they come up with are going to be pretty hard to explain. Bribery. Where was the bribery? Quid pro quo. Where is the quid pro quo when it was explicitly stated by Trump that he didn't want quid pro quo? Where is that? From the average American standpoint, this looks retarded. This looks like it's going nowhere. But like I said, the Democrats are stuck. They have to impeach. They don't have a choice. They're stuck. They have painted themselves in a corner, and they must impeach. They do not have a choice. I'm going to skip a little bit here. In other words, some of the moderates are willing to cast tough votes to impeach Trump, but they'd rather do it on articles of impeachment that don't include clauses they view as less solid. They can't take any kind of wishy-washy because the whole thing is wishy-washy. If they add any more wishy-washy to it, it's just going to water it down, and their voting base is going to say, what in the heck is going on? We need more information. We need the whistleblower to testify. We need the whistleblower. I, for one, am actually kind of hoping that it does go through impeachment so that way we can go to the next phase and perhaps get a little more discovery. I would like to delve more into the phone records, how the phone records were obtained, were they obtained legally, and most importantly, who is the whistleblower, and we need the whistleblower to testify. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you believe. Are the Democrats correct? Are the Republicans off their rocker? Am I off my rocker? Am I correct? I mean, take part in the conversation. This is affecting all of us. Let's discuss it. Anyways, that's all I got for this one. I'll see you guys on the next one.